welcome back to Financial Wellness Tips with me, Jocelyn Natasha. As you guys know, April is Financial Literacy Month, and I'm coming to you every week this month with my financial tip of the week. And this week, we're talking credit cards, okay? If you don't already know, I am a certified educator in personal finance, and credit cards are on the menu today. So, I just want to start by saying credit cards are a wonderful, wonderful tool if used properly. Credit cards allow you to enjoy more now and also in the future if you use them properly. So let's start by thinking about why we even want a credit card. Is it for security? Is it for emergencies? Is it for traveling? Why do you specifically want a credit card? Okay, so when you decide to commit to a credit card, you are telling a lender that you are promising to use this particular tool responsibly and pay it back accordingly, right? That's all it is. So let's think about why we want a credit card. Now that we know why we want a credit card, we need to start doing our homework, which is researching the best product for you. Not for me, not for your mom, not for your dad, not for your cousin who recommended a product to you. You want to make sure that you're doing your research to select the best product for you specifically. So by doing that, I recommend that you find 3 cards that are similar and that you compare apples to apples, right? So making sure that these products align and that they offer some of the same things that you're looking for. So let me tell you some things that I want you to start looking at. I want you to look at what the interest rates are. I want you to look at what the annual fees for the card is, if any. I want you to look at the grace period as far as like paying for your card, if there's a grace period, what the fees are, late fees are, if you're not able to pay, or if something happens. Remember what I told you guys last week, life be lifing, and sometimes things are not going to go according to your personal plan. So you want to make sure that your lender has some flexibility or has something in place that they can assist you with should a hardship or something like that happen. Also, how is this product going to help you, right? So if there's something specific that you want to purchase, so let's say you got a card for a particular reason, is there a period where there's no interest? And then when the interest does start occurring, what is that interest rate? One thing I want to tell you, I can tell you off the top of my head, is that the average interest rate on a credit card today is 25%. You can surely find a card with a lower interest rate and a higher interest rate, but the average is about 25%. So keep that in mind. All right, so now that you started comparing apples to apples, you're able to make a decision and select the best product for yourself. Now here comes the real hard part. You got to be responsible with this card because you got to pay this money back, okay? This is borrowed money. It's not free money. It's not just like run it up. No, okay? This is a tool, okay? So I want you to keep that in mind when we're talking about a credit card. Let's start with small purchases. Maybe purchase gas that you would normally purchase with cash and go home, pay the card right off immediately. When you make small purchases and you pay them off immediately, it's doing 2 things. 1, you're not paying any interest. And 2, you're showing how responsible you are with using that card. So credit utilization and responsibility. This is gonna help you in the long run because when you go to make much larger purchases, like a house or a car, these credit card purchases and your activity and your utilization is on your credit history. And that's all that a lender really has to go off of. They don't know anything about you, but they can pull your credit report and see your history and see how responsible you have been with your credit. So remember to always be in good standing, make good decisions as far as when making a purchase and paying it off. things are gonna happen. We can have credit cards for emergencies, right? So we don't have liquid cash to pay for something that unexpectedly happened. That's okay. You can use the card as long as it's for good reason and you're using it responsibly and paying the money back as agreed. There's also something called a minimum payment trap. If you don't hear anything else I say, listen to me. Do not fall into a minimum payment trap. Let me tell you what that is. A minimum payment trap is, let's say you spent $500 on your card. Something happened, something came up, an emergency, you didn't have the cash. You need to use your emergency credit card. Perfectly fine. You use the card and you spend $500. Your statement comes in the mail and your lender says, hey, pay $15, you'll be in good standing, every month, you're good to go. So let's say you take them up on the offer. Okay, I'll pay the $15. You are literally just paying your interest. You're not even paying on the actual amount of money that you borrowed, right? So how long do you think it would take you to pay off a $500 balance on a credit card with an interest rate of about 24% and you're only paying $15 a month? I'll give you a little bit of time to think. Let me save you the trouble. It will take you almost 5 years to pay off the $500. Okay? And you would be paying $350 in interest. So you'd be paying about $850 for the $500 that you borrowed. Do not fall into a minimum payment trap. You always want to pay more than the minimum. If you can pay it off completely. But you never just want to pay the minimum. Always pay more and try to pay the card off as soon as possible. A minimum payment trap is a real thing. And yes, it does keep you in good standing. So that part, I want you to always be in. So if there comes a month where you can only pay the minimum, surely pay the minimum, right? Because you don't want to fall into default or delinquency. But what you want to do when you do have more money is to pay it up and pay it off as soon as possible. I promise it will make a world of difference. So we're gonna be responsible with our credit cards. We're gonna use the credit card as a tool to show lenders how responsible we are as borrowers, and we can live the lifestyle that we wanna live. I hope you guys took something away from this tip, and I'll see you guys next week for my next tip. Bye.